Today, we take a look at how vaccines may help us return to normal. We look at a rally that took place at Santa Clarita City Hall last week, a local small music shop that has a twist, and new legislation looking to curb Asian American hate crimes here in the United States. This and more here on Canyons News.
With news from across the Santa Clarita Valley, this is Canyons News.
With the rise of people getting vaccinated and the vaccine effectiveness against COVID-19, the CDC has announced that as of June 15th, fully vaccinated people will no longer have to wear a mask, but there still are some restrictions. Here's Tristan Stein with more.
We might be going back to normalcy a lot sooner than we may think. Earlier this week, the CDC made an announcement stating that individuals that have been fully vaccinated no longer have to wear a mask in non-crowded spaces. But even with this announcement from the CDC, people still have to wear masks in crowded areas such as shopping centers, gyms, and stadiums, until this announcement goes into effect on June 15th, 2021. COVID-19 has been a part of everyone's lives for over a year now, and it has changed everyone's life drastically. Since masks became mandatory, people around the world have been waiting for masks to no longer be required. It seems that the world is on turn 3 when it comes to getting used to life with COVID-19, and there seems to be a little glint of light at the end of this very long tunnel. According to ourworldanddata.org, there have been over 35 million vaccines that have been given out in the state of California alone, and over 276 million doses given out countrywide. And 124 million of those doses are people that have been fully vaccinated already. That means about 37.9% of people have been fully vaccinated in the United States. With those statistics, it seems that we are climbing out of the hole that is the battle against COVID-19. And with this announcement from the CDC, it seems that life with COVID-19 may no longer be as big of a problem that it once was. And after speaking with Santa Clarita native nurse Jennifer Habel, she was asked why she thinks the CDC is now making this announcement about the new mask guidelines. She stated that since people are becoming fully vaccinated, it is fighting against the COVID-19 virus and it is protecting them, and there isn't need to wear masks in these areas. At this point, a majority of people who have been choosing to get the vaccine have gotten it already and they are fully vaccinated. And the people who aren't taking the vaccine are knowingly taking a risk if they do not wear a mask in catching this virus. Habel was also asked what should people do to remain healthy during this pandemic, and she stated that if people aren't getting the vaccine, then they should, to stay healthy, they need to wash their hands and wear a mask. People who are getting vaccinated are fully vaccinated and are getting protected from this virus. With Canyons News, Tristan Stein.
Amidst the Israeli-Palestine conflict, members of the Santa Clarita Valley held a rally last week to generate awareness. Here's Rachel Mata with the story.
Their intent is to kill as many men, women, children as possible. Now we have to stand up for justice, stand up for what's right.
Because of the current state of Israel, support for the country was written across the signs and faces of a group of Santa Clarita community members on City Hall's steps last Thursday.
As a College of the Canyon student, I believe that Israel has the right to defend itself and exist.
The Santa Clarita native attended the Rally for Israel after hearing about the event on Facebook, but she claims social media may be the root of the problem when it comes to spreading misinformation about Israel and Palestine relations.
I see a lot of it on social media, it's hard because it's like a lot of false information, and it just sucks to see people like I know spreading that false information.
Rachel is one of the many demonstrators who attended the Rally for Israel, many of which took to waving Israeli flags and banners to show their solidarity before gathering on the steps of City Hall to listen to several speakers.
We have to remember that who is shooting these missiles is Hamas. And in their charter, they call for the destruction of Israel. And we have a responsibility to educate our children, to educate those around us. Because those who project falsehood and lies and hatred, they have microphones.
The event was not only intended to spread awareness of these foreign affairs, but to unite various religions in Santa Clarita.
So we're bringing together the community, people from all backgrounds, all religious backgrounds, all denominations, all faiths, coming together to support Israel in a critical time.
For For Canyons News, I'm Rachel Matta.
Hidden in this Santa Clarita music shop, you'll end up finding more than just guitars and drum sets. More on the story, here's Destiny de la Cueva.
Music lessons, performance workshops, and repairs are just some of what is offered at Impulse, a music store in Santa Clarita. Impulse is not new to town, but they have recently been gaining popularity for their open mic nights.
Started before this was Impulse. We were only doing them like once a month, which was, we would get a lot of interest in them, and it was fun. There's some nights we would have 50 people in here. And for an hour, that's a lot of, that's a lot to get through. So sometimes we would say open an hour later.
While the open mic nights are mainly occupied by musicians who are looking to get on a stage, other types of talent are also welcome.
We've had, it's a majority of musicians, which is, kind of expected for an open mic. But also on another hand, we've had comedy night. Like, we've had guys come and do comedy. We've had people come and do poetry. And, every once in a while, we have one guy in the community, he's an Elvis impersonator.
The pandemic has taken its toll on musicians and their ability to play shows, but as COVID regulations continue to loosen, people are eager to get back out and showcase their talent.
The open mic night that we've done since we've opened it back up has been 100% full, at least to the capacity of our COVID standards, so we can't have any more people in there, So it's been really good so far.
As the open mic night gains popularity, people of all ages and skill level are still encouraged to join.
Open for everybody and, all ages too. If you're a little kid and you've been, practicing your heart out and you want to come play in front of people and you're not scared to do it, by all means come and do it. If you're 75 years old and you never played an instrument, but, you want to try, come by, say hi.
For Canyons News, I'm Destiny de la Cueva.
With the rise in Asian American hate crimes across the United States, Congress sought to find a solution to aid this issue. George Luis Aguila gives us more.
The 60-vote threshold having been achieved, the bill as amended is passed.
On Tuesday, the Senate passed a new bill, S-937, COVID-19 Hate Crimes Act. This bill requires the designated officer or employee of the Department of Justice to facilitate the expedited review of hate crimes and reports of hate crimes. According to AP, hate crimes in the United States rose to the highest level in more than a decade, as officials also recorded the highest number of hate-motivated killings since the 1990s. Following the spread of COVID-19 in 2020, there has been a dramatic increase in hate crimes and violence against Asian Americans and Pacific Islanders. According to a recent report in the introduced bill, there were nearly 3,800 reported cases of anti-Asian discrimination and incidents related to COVID-19 between March 19, 2020 and February 28, 2021. This bill establishes grants for states to create state-run hate crime reporting hotlines. It also authorizes grants for states and local governments to implement the National Incident-Based Reporting System and to conduct law enforcement activities or crime reduction programs to prevent, address, or respond to hate crimes, all of which look to reduce the amount of hate crimes in the United States. For Canyons News, I'm George Luis Aguila.
For the latest news in and across the Santa Clarita Valley, be sure to follow us on our social media. For Canyons News, I'm Cade Kostick. Thanks for joining us.